Today we are going to discuss a new topic for you, that is about sound. One question to you: how you know your class one period in your class? How you know one period is over? Suppose you may hear this sound. Also, how you know somebody is approaching to you, or somebody is coming towards you, or how you understand somebody is knocking the door. Here are, you know, certain sound from certain sounds. Now you used to play hide and seek. One of them count blindfoldedly, others hide. And how you identify somebody is hiding near you? How? It is from sound. It is from sound. Now, actually, what is the importance of sound? Sound play an important role. Sound play an important role in our lives. Sound play an important role in our lives. Also, sound helps to communicate with one another. What is the important? Sound play an important role in our lives. Suppose somebody is coming, that you understand from sound. Somebody is knocking, that you understand. And also somebody is talking to you. These are all you understood from the sound you heard. So, sound play an important role in our lives. Also, sound helps to communicate with one another. Suppose we want to communicate with another, we use the way of sound. We use the way of sound. So, that is the importance of sound. Now, you observe what are the sounds you hear when you sitting somewhere. When you sit somewhere, what are the different sounds you may hear? You may hear the sounds of some birds, sometimes wind blowing, then branches of trees moves, that sound also we can hear. Sometimes some vehicles moving sound. So different sounds you can hear when you observe. Usually when you observe, you can hear so many different kinds of sounds. And also you are familiar with them. And also you are familiar with different musical instruments. Different musical instruments such as violin, guitar, then veena. These are all produce sound. These all produce sound. Musical instruments like violin, guitar, chanda, matalam. These are all produce sound. When we strike or pull the strings, we can hear sound from it. Now, we want to understand what is sound. What is sound? How it is produced? How it is produced, how it travel, how we hear. These are all things we want to know. That means what is actually sound, how is it produced, and how it travel, how we hear. These are all things we want to understand from this unit. First of all, what is sound? Sound is a form of energy. Sound is a form of energy. You know, different forms of energy such as electrical energy, light energy, and magnetic, and so on. Among that, such type of one energy is sound. Now, we want to know how sound is producing. Next, we want to know. Now, we got idea about what is actually sound. Sound is a form of energy. Now, what we want to understand more? We want to understand at first how it is produced, how sound is produced. Then we can go how it travel and how we can hear. These are all things. Now, first of all, how sound is produced. See, here in our this instrument box, see, a rubber band is stretched between two chokes. If I am pulling here, you can see this rubber band is vibrating. See, here the vibration you can see. And also, when you make or tap this tuning fork to this one, see, you can hear the sound. And if I touch, I feel the vibration of this on. And to understand more things, see, this now is vibrating. If I am dipping in this on, you can see this water is vibrating. See, once again. You can see the vibration of water on its surface. And waves is producing, see. See, here vibration due to the water is here you can see on the surface of water that is producing. See, this is due to the vibration of, this is due to the vibration. So this sound you can hear, and this sound is producing due to vibration that you can observe on the surface of water. And also when you ring this bell, see, if you touch this on, you can observe the vibration of this surface. We can see, we can feel the vibration on this, and from this all we come across that sound is produced due to vibration. How sound is produced? Sound produced What is the reason to produce sound? Sound is due to the vibration. Suppose here tuning fork is vibrating, here this rubber band is vibrating, here this bell is this bell is vibrating. Here all we can come to see that vibration produces sound. Vibration produces sound. Here you also observe that here the vibration and also here waves are formed. So when sound is produced due to vibration, there will produce waves also. So in such a musical instrument like guitar, violin, veena, etc., there is string. When we pluck or touch that string, that will vibrate and it will produce the string of this odd will produce what is sound due to vibration. And also we familiar with commonly used chanda, madalam, tabla, etc. That there is some leather part when we strike on this, that also will produce, and also in mud pot with musical instruments like that also they are producers, and also in cymbal. Here are sound producing due to vibration. Due to the vibration. When sound is producing in this type of musical instrument, for example, this guitar. Here the string not alone vibrating. Here the string is not alone vibrating. It vibrating, that is the whole body of it vibrating. Along with the string, the whole body vibrating, and in that way it produces sound. And also in the case of violin, not the string alone vibrating, but the whole part of the body of it vibrating and producing sound. Similarly, veena also. And in the case of chanda, you are familiar with the musical instrument that when we beat the leather with the stick, that vibrates and sound produces. That sound is not due to the vibration of that leather alone, but the wooden part and the air column inside, that all vibrate. Because of that, a large sound is producing in that musical instrument. Okay, in that musical instrument. Now see here in this way. If we take some 6 to 8 glass with water like this way, suppose 6 to 8 glass if we take. In this, if we take water, its water level gradually increasing order. See here 6 to 8 glass if we take and take water in it in the increasing order, that means here less, here it is a little more, here it is a little more, and in this way. And if you take it in this way and after you strike with a pencil on this glass, you can hear different sound from this. That means sound producing here we can get as a, we can say as it as jal tarang. We can say as a jal tarang. Suppose if the increasing order, if you take in the correct proportion, then we can get the musical letters sa, ri, ga, ma. In this way we can get sound from this glass with the water. So we can get a jal tarang here by taking different heights. That is increasing order of water here we taken. So the sound produced by each of these differ from one another, that we can see. And also that we can see the vibration, and also we can hear the sound. In most of the cases when vibration is producing, we cannot see the waves formed because the amplitude is so small, but on the surface of water we can see the waves formed because the amplitude is there more, but in most cases we cannot see. Suppose this tuning fork is taken. For this tuning fork, here one number is given, that is 256. That means within 1 second this will vibrate 256 times. So 256 times this tuning fork vibrate. Here you can see its number. That means this tuning fork vibrate 250 times in 1 second. So the amplitude here is less, so we cannot observe directly the waves forming on this. That we cannot see because amplitude here producing is very small, because its vibration is very large. Now we can go to different musical instruments and how the different sounds we are getting. Okay, see once again, what are the things we said? At first, what is sound? Sound is a form of energy. How sound is produced? Sound produced due to vibration. Sound produced due to vibration of a body. Examples for sound produced for vibration we discussed in this box and also in the bulb and in the tuning fork and also on the surface of water. Suppose if simply we touch with this one, we can hear sound by because this glass is vibrating, and here we cannot see its the vibration because its amplitude is very small. Now we can go to another topics about this one, how sound is producing by producing human beings. How sound is producing human beings. Okay, now one to question to you, what is actually sound? Try to say, what is actually sound? It is a form of energy. How is sound is produced? How? It is produced due to the vibration. Sound is produced due to the vibration. Why some sound becomes louder? Because its amplitude of vibration becomes more. That means when the amplitude of vibration is more, some sound become very loud. Some sound become very loud when the amplitude of vibration is more. Okay. Now one question to you. When we speak, any part of our body vibrates. Once again, question I am repeating. When we speak, any part of our body vibrates. Okay. Now we are going to discuss how sound produced by humans. How sound is produced humans. Suppose when we talk something, just you held your hand on your neck, what do you feel? You can see there is vibration, and also you can see on ball like structure there. If you place the hand there and swallow anything, you can see that the ball is moving up and down. You can see that the ball is moving. That ball we used to say as voice box. That ball we used to say as a voice box. That means in human beings, sound is produced by this voice box. Otherwise it is called larynx. Voice box, otherwise it is called larynx. This comes at the end of the windpipe. This comes at the end of the windpipe. Once again, how sound is produced by humans? In human beings, sound is produced by which part? That part is called voice box. What is called? Voice box or larynx. Where it is situated? That windpipe, that is at the end of the windpipe. That is at the end of the windpipe. Okay? Across this voice box or larynx, there are two vocal cords. What we can see? Across the voice box or larynx, two vocal cords stretch. We can see two vocal cords stretching. There is two vocal cords stretched and it form a narrow slit. See, there is voice box that is at the end of the windpipe, and in this voice box two vocal cords we can see stretching, and in between the stretch there is a narrow slit. There is a narrow slit. When air is forced through this narrow slit from the lungs, when air is forced through this narrow slit from lungs, that produces sound. From lungs, air forced through this narrow slit, there will produce sound. And if these vocal cords are attached with some muscles, if the muscles stretch this vocal cords, then the slit become narrow and thin, slits become narrow and thin, then the sound differ if the slits are wide and thick. That means if the vocal cords are stretched too much, then the vocal cords become narrow and sound is on particular sound we can get. And if the vocal cords are not stretched so much and then it is thick and the sound differ from the other one. Here you see how this on, see a piece of paper is taking and there is a small slit. If I am making this slit and hold this slit in between the fingers, and if sound is flowing through this slit, see, in this manner. Once again, here the small slits only is possible, and through this slit when air is forced out, this way, that through this small slit when air is forced out, there will produce in the same manner our vocal cords work. The working of our vocal cords is just like this one. Now you want to remember these things, how sound is produced by humans. How is it? Which part of our body produces sound? Voice box or larynx. Where is it? It is at the end of the windpipe. And this voice box, what we can see, two vocal cords stretched across the voice box, two vocal cords. That is stretched, and in between the vocal cords there is a narrow slit. There is a narrow slit, and these vocal cords are connected to muscles. These muscles can make the vocal cords, that means tighten or loose. When the vocal cords are very tight, or there will be one sound, and if it is loose, that sound is different. And when the vocal cord is stretched, it becomes thin and produce a separate sound, and when it is loose and thick, that produce another sound. Just like that you can also make with take two rubber strips and held together, and then you make a sound in between by using in your mouth, then you can hear. And also by using this paper you get some sound. That means these two make a first one small slit in between the paper, then the fold this on, and then if you blow air through this like this way, this is the same manner in which sound is producing in our vocal cord. Now some questions to you. Some musical instrument is given and vibrating part producing sound. You have to answer these questions. First of all, Veena is the musical instrument given, and which is the vibrating part of it that produce sound. Say, which is the vibrating part, the musical instrument Veena, and which on it, which part we used to play? It's a string. So we can write as a stretched string. Where is that is vibrating part is what? Stretched string. That producing sound. Not only that string alone producing sound, the whole part of the body vibrating and producing sound. Then tabla. Second. In tabla, where you used to play? On its top. So tabla there is a stretched membrane. stressed membrane on which we strike. So in tabla, the part which is vibrating, what is stressed membrane. In flute, you are familiar with this musical instrument flute, which is commonly using. Very sweet sound is getting from it. And in flute, which part we use to vibrate? It's a air column. Which is the part vibrating there? Air column is vibrating in it. Now another one, chanda. Which is the part vibrating in it? In a chanda, the vibrating part is leather. That means stressed membrane such as leather is vibrating part. And also the air collar inside it and wooden part also vibrating. So this is the vibrating. Here we is striking with the stick in the leather, stressed leather. Then it vibrates and it also vibrates the wooden part and air column inside it. Then violin, this also what is the stretched string. There also a string that is vibrating in it. So in a violin, the vibrating part or the part which we vibrate is the stressed string. Okay. Now guitar. In guitar also which we use to vibrate, there also we can see what is a stressed string. Now from this all we come to one point, that is sound is producing due to the vibration. Sound is produced due to the vibration. And also we discussed how sound is produced. How sound is produced in human beings. See this musical instrument. You read once again. Which are the musical instrument? Veena. Which part we vibrate in it? Which part we vibrate in it? We vibrate only its stretched string. Then what are the other parts vibrating? That other parts vibrating the air column and wooden part in it. Similarly, tabla, the part which we vibrating is stretched membrane. Then other part of other part of that body is also vibrating. Flute, the part which we vibrating is the air column in it. Then chanda, on the that is the leather on the top we vibrate. Then its wooden part, air column also vibrating along with that. Violin, string, guitar string, these are all vibrating part. We discussed about how sound is produced. How sound is produced in human beings. But we know sound from men differ from woman, and also it is differ from children. Why the sound differ? Why the sound of men, woman, children are differ? See, sound produced due to the vibration of what is vocal cords. That means these vocal cords when vibrate. See, in men, the length of vocal cords is 20 millimeter in length. In men, the length of the vocal cord is nearly 20 centimeter length. But in woman, it is less than 5 millimeter. That means for men it is 20 millimeter. Then woman is it is less than 5 millimeter, means that will be how much will come? Nearly 15 millimeter in length. For children, its length is too small. That is, for children, the length of the vocal cord is too smaller than what is men and women. So the sound differ from each one. That means in men, the length of vocal cord 20 millimeter. Here it is 5 millimeter less, and for children it is too small compared to this men and women. So the sound differ. So the sound differ from men to woman, woman to children, sound differ. Now, what are the things we discussed today? Today we discussed first how on one period is over. When you are in a class, how your period is over? From how you understand? From the bell which hearing. And also we discussed how somebody is coming to your class or somebody is approaching you, that you identified with a sound. Then what are the different sounds you hear from the surroundings? You can get different sounds such as birds, dogs and cat. These are all sounds you can hear from your surroundings. Then we come to how sound is producing and how sound is traveling. How we can hear it and why one sound is different or louder than other. How sound is produced? Sound is produced due to vibration. What is sound? Sound is a form of energy. Now we want to discuss how sound travels from one place to another. And also we discussed sound producing due to vibration. For that some examples. Which are the examples we discussed or activity we did to understand sound is producing due to vibration by using rubber band, by using tuning fork, by using bell. These all we find out vibration, and due to vibration there are waves producing also, but in all case the waves producing we cannot see because the amplitude of vibration may be very small. Because of that we cannot hear. Then we discussed about how sound is produced in human beings. How sound is producing in human beings? There is a noise box or larynx that is situated at the end of the windpipe, and above it there is a stretching of two vocal cords, and that two vocal cords stretches to a narrow slit. When air is forced through this narrow slit from lungs, sound is producing. When air is forced through this narrow slit from lungs, when lungs force the air through this narrow slit, there will produce a sound. If the slits we can make it to narrow or wider by the action of muscles connected to these vocal cords. Then we discuss about how the sound differ in men, women and children. How that differ? The length of vocal cords in men, it is 20 millimeter. Then for women it is less than 5 centimeter less, and for children it is very small. So these sounds differ in this all cases. Okay. Now you want to do one thing, sir. You try to observe the different sounds which you hear when you are sitting in your in the morning, and write it and send to me. And also you observe different musical instruments you are familiar, and how the sound is producing in it, and which part is vibrating, that also you note and send it to me. Okay, with this we can wind today's class.